The ocean is the lifeblood of Earth, driving weather, regulating temperature, and ultimately supporting all living organisms. We use the ocean as a source of income for fishermen, a mean for transport, and a source of sustenance. Countries' economies, such as China, depend on the ocean for global trade, which directly correlates to people's standard of living. Without the ocean, we wouldn't be where we are today. Despite the significance of the ocean, we barely know anything about it. Like, yeah, it's pretty deep, it has some water and there's some fish in it. But really, what do we know about the ocean? We have a vague idea of what the bottom of the ocean looks like, but we've only ever explored 5% of it. It's actually kind of funny thinking about it now. It's often considered we know more about the surface of Mars, a different planet, which is 54.6 million kilometers away, than our own planet, our own ocean. So we can't say, as the human race, that we know what happens on our own planet. So my question for all of you today is, why go up when you could go down? What goes on in the ocean? What could be living with us? How many more species could be thriving on the ocean floor? And in addition to this, how can we explore the ocean? Is exploring the ocean more useful than exploring space? And most importantly, why should we? I'll start with what I think is the most daunting of the questions. What is down there? Scientists don't know how many undiscovered species of marine life live under the sea. With all the different methods to find the exact number, relying heavily on assumptions and modeling, the results have wide variations in estimates. Some being as low as 0.3 million, with others being as high as 10 to 100 million. Whatever the exact value is, we have yet to discover over 2/3 of all marine life, leaving so much room for possibility, variety, and diversity. Along with that, there could be new elements in the ocean. Each of these possibly have properties useful for the human race. But again, it's just a possibility. We don't know what's down there. If there aren't new elements, there could be untouched stockpiles of existing and known materials and elements that play a crucial part in today's society. Materials such as limestone, iron, copper, and many more can be readily found under the sea. By tapping into the collections of materials stored under the ocean's floor, things that we considered a luxury before could be found plethora tomorrow. Ultimately, we don't actually know what's down there. There's no limit to the possibilities. Perhaps the blue whale isn't the largest animal in the world, or the element that will build the cities of tomorrow is down there. Who knows, maybe SpongeBob is there as well. Now, how can we get there? That's where the problem arises. Obviously, we have to use a submarine. However, the deeper we go into the ocean, the more the pressure builds up, meaning we can't go very deep without a conventional submarine collapsing in on itself. To solve this, we need to use lots of strong materials which can withstand lots of pressure. Materials such as steel or titanium. We would also need to create lots of circular rings around the body of the submarine to provide structural support and eliminate stress points around the fuselage, so it doesn't collapse under pressure. Unlike conventional submarines that do this, ours will need to be much stronger to resist the greater pressure under the ocean, meaning it is very expensive to create deep-sea submarines. On to my last question, why? Would exploring the ocean be more useful than exploring space? In my opinion, yes. Although space presents the factor of the unknown, perfect to fill the human curiosity, conquering the oceans would be another giant leap for mankind. In addition to this, there's a possibility of new elements to be found, new species or characteristics that could be useful for us, new reliable food sources, deep-sea currents strong enough to power hydroelectric turbines able to provide entire countries with renewable energy. All the solutions to today's problems could be right below us. All we have to do is look. Thank you.